Today, a 33-year-old woman claims her ex never listened, and her family agrees. Kevin Samuels exposes the real issue: her harsh approach, poor communication.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, I'm AJ.
how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Um, I was just calling because I believe that it really depends on the situation when it comes to forgiveness. I feel like I have some situations where I personally need to forgive
What do you
because,
mean it depends on the situation?
well,
Well, first
sometimes
off,
when
how old are you? First off, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that sometimes one person is in the wrong. They may have cheated. Sometimes the other person is in the wrong. They may have not been ready or been rude or dismissive. Um, so I know in my personal situation, I have been dismissive or maybe not taking people seriously that I wish I had. Um, so overall, I think it's situational, but I think that it's really about the emotional IQ of the person and if they're ready to admit that everyone has their flaws and come to the table and talk about what they did and if they're ready to change.
I still don't understand what you mean by it's situational.
Oh, so like for instance, if you're saying is should black men or black women forgive first?
Yeah.
But I believe every situation is different.
Well, it can't be everything. See, that nuance thing doesn't work. It is what it is. Black men and black women don't get along with one another. Who goes first?
I was saying my personal situation, I feel like I can go first because I've made some mistakes in certain situations.
I'm saying the macro situation. I'm talking about black men or black women. What side goes first? Macro.
Um, Macro, I believe that women might have a little bit more emotional capacity to initiate it and might feel comfortable being vulnerable. And so if we have that capacity, we can go ahead and and
Can you
and
can you just give me a
share that.
straight? Can you just give me a straight answer?
Yeah, sorry, I thought I was.
Well, I
I
mean,
think that
see,
women.
oftentimes women think you're giving a straight answer, and men are just. When I say which go first, men or women, the answer is either men or women. It's not. Well, if I think women, if they have the capacity, they should just which side? Are you saying women should go first or
Yeah,
men should
that's
go first?
exactly what I said. I think
Well, no,
that we
no,
have
no,
more
ma'am. No,
emotional
no, let me explain something to you. Let me explain. Maybe this is different. See, miscommunication happens between us. I know what it is you think you're saying, but I'm telling you what most men hear. You can
IQ. Okay,
accept
well,
that.
I
You can
said
accept
women
that.
should go first because
You can accept that or not. I'm just telling you. This is one of the major complaints about men when they speak to women. You use too many words and too many nuance when you just, especially when you're being held down to a yes or no answer. On this channel, it happens all the time when I ask women a hardcore yes or no question. It's called deflection. You'll see people talking about Wonder Woman bracelets and the shields going up. You can go back and look in the chat room. But anyway, go ahead.
I believe women can go first.
So, in your personal life, do you forgive often?
No,
Why?
I would say often that I've done a lot of work in some of my personal relationships. And when you kind of meet sometimes your situation with tools that your therapist has given you, the other person might recognize that as bad behavior. So
Okay, let me try this, AJ. Can you talk to me like I'm 4 years old?
yeah,
Okay, I asked you, how's that work do you forgive in your personal relationship? You said no, and I said why? Give me the answer like I'm a 4 year old.
I don't forgive because sometimes people don't deserve the forgiveness.
Thank you. That would serve you much better with men. So you don't forgive because they don't deserve the forgiveness. What do you mean?
I think that sometimes they don't appreciate when I come to the table with trying to really explain how I feel, and they recognize that as bad behavior instead of good communication.
They recognize when you try to come to the table and say how you feel, they say you're behaving bad.
Yeah, a lot of times people are of the opinion that when you bring up a situation, it's automatically negative and they don't want to heal it. And so they'll just put that negativity on you instead of trying to heal the situation.
Has this happened?
So
Has this
I
happened with
find
more than one
sometimes,
person?
sorry,
Has this happened with more than one person?
yes.
How many people would you say this has happened with?
Definitely a lot of my family members,
Mhm.
maybe 4 family members.
So, do you make any room, AJ, for the possibility maybe it's how you're giving it?
Oh, definitely. I've made room for that. And I feel like when I definitely sit there and talk in a very calm way, even with my therapist, it's the group therapy doesn't even sometimes go well. And I don't know what tools to use if none of the tools will work. And sometimes you just have to divest,
What does that mean?
like take your energy away when you are meeting someone with energy and they aren't coming back with the
Okay, human
reciprocity.
beings are pretty simple. Human beings are pretty simple. Um, and it sounds as though you've made us pretty complex when it comes down to interactions. We tend to treat people nice who treat us nice. We tend to treat people poorly who treat us poorly. If someone did wrong by you and they ask you to forgive them, do you forgive them?
If someone comes to me with a genuine apology, yes.
Ah.
But often that doesn't happen.
Ah.
Do I often forgive? No, because often the apology doesn't happen.
See that? No. I said if someone does something wrong and they ask for your forgiveness, do you forgive them? And you said if they come to me with a genuine apology. Well, I just said they came to you and asked for forgiveness. That implies a genuine apology. But what you just said, see, what I'm hearing from you is you probably have a very high standard for how someone has to apologize and how you have to be communicated to. And you need to really feel like they really, really mean it.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I feel like a sincere apology.
That's bullshit.
You're saying a sincere apology isn't a
No, I'm saying
prerequisite
you're
for
not
forgiveness?
God. What I'm saying is I've asked you several times to make it simple, but you're going to give it to me the way you want to give it to me. But when someone does the same thing to you, if someone comes to you and asks you for forgiveness, you want them to give it to you the way you want it given. But you don't even do that to me. So I said it's bullshit. It's hypocritical, man. That's why I said if you have had this situation happen with multiple people, you're the only common denominator.
Well, I would have to say that I've spoke to my therapist about this, and sometimes when you come from toxic situations, especially family,
Mm-hmm.
um,
How long you been with the therapist?
4 years.
And you're 33?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, unfortunately, the world does not owe me or you understanding. If you've been with it for 4 years,
Yes.
have you had any more success in your personal life?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like
I
cutting off some of
mean,
my family
no,
members
no,
was
no, no.
necessary.
When your personal, let me clarify. Your personal romantic life.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you in a long-term relationship right now?
No.
When was the last long-term romantic relationship you had?
3 years ago.
But you, but how can you say you've had more success in that?
More success in terms of healing, in terms
Well,
of when
no,
you
no,
said,
no, 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 no. See, that was I asked that question very simply.
no, I answered your previous question when you
I
just said,
I
as
know. Okay,
your personal
let me run
life.
it back. You've been with the therapist for 4 years, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to see if it's worked. And I said, well, you say you've been for 4 years. The world does not owe you and me understanding, but let's test it. Would you say you've had more success in your relationships? You said yes. And I said, let me clarify your personal romantic relationships. You said yes. And I said, okay, what's your longest Are you in a long-term romantic relationship? You said no. I said, how long ago was your last long-term relationship? You said 3 years. Then if you've only been with your therapist for 4 years and the last relationship you had was 3 years ago, you haven't had any success in personal romantic relationships post-therapy.
I wouldn't say that.
That's simple math, ma'am. That's not, there's no nuance right there.
I guess I don't really judge the success in terms of length of the relationship.
Did I just? Okay. In your personal relationships with men, have they become easier?
Yes.
Have they become more productive?
Yes.
Where is the proof of that?
The proof of it is in my peace of mind. It's in the quality of men that I've dated. It's also within my mental health.
The proof would be if you had a fucking man. That's the only way to prove that, ma'am.
Well, I guess maybe it's time to stop because I don't know why you're cursing at me. I guess
Yeah, get the fuck off my phone.
Bye.
Cursing at you because you're a fucking mess. Guaranteed you she went to school for psychology. Well, it all depends upon the intellectual dominion of the world and the transgressions and the aquameridians of the Bernoulli equations. And if your if was a fifth and you get down when to do the but, do you have a man? Nope. Are you having better personal relationships? Yes, I certainly am. Where's your man? Don't have one. How can you tell? Well, I feel better about not having one. Did I miss that, somebody? Did I miss it? I feel better about not having the thing I said I got.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh! Oh my gosh. I need a drink. And what those last two callers just proved is the previous young man, he is not ready to forgive anybody because he's not done the work. And the other caller, she may be in therapy. You may need to switch because you don't see that. Does anyone think that the person I just spoke to was the forgiving, open kind of person? Be like, it's all good. Let's just move. Let's just squash the past and move forward. Did anyone get any forgiveness vibes or any of that? I mean, I'm open. Did anyone get that? Okay. These things go, the feelings go deep. The feelings go deep in their heart. But here's the thing. If you have to be, when I started becoming a better person is when I gave up the need to be right. When I was okay with just being correct. When I had to stop convincing you that you got it. All right, cool. None of us are perfect. We're all flawed. And other races of people seem to be able to deal with each other in imperfect ways and make progress. If we talk about, I hear people talk about black this, black that, and pro-black this. If you can't have black relationships, you can't have black nothing. And if the only way either side is willing to move forward is when the other side completely submits, surrenders, and forgives in a way that makes you feel as though they really, 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 really mean it. It's a wrap. That is a wrap. So what I would say is, for me, I look at the people that I had in my life that I was closest to when I was my most toxic or my most negative, and I just cut it. Because oftentimes you have relationships with people for negative reasons. But here's something. That does not mean you have to be mean to them, but learning how to detach with love, honor, respect, and just saying, hey, we're just going in different places. Giving yourself permission to become the best version of you.
You think being direct is your strength, but every man you've dealt with experienced it as harshness, attitude, and combativeness. You confuse emotional intensity with communication. You confuse volume with clarity. You confuse being difficult with being a strong woman. Your family co-signed your behavior because they love you. A man doesn't love your excuses. He feels your attitude. And now you're 33, alone, still repeating the same story. It wasn't me. It was him. It wasn't my approach. It was his ego. It wasn't my tone. It was his insecurity. No. At some point, you have to look in the mirror and admit the obvious. Your way of speaking to men pushes them away. Men don't commit to women who correct them like children, challenge them like opponents, or talk to them like enemies. Your ex didn't stop listening. He got tired of defending himself from your delivery.